Hey you guys, my name is Mara Sullivan and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is about living a more simple, peaceful, zen, tranquil, natural life and just some things that have been healing to me and for me and things that just make me feel good on a regular basis. A lot of times in this Western culture, if you live in America, we have this habit of sometimes putting band-aids over problems and not getting to the root cause, especially when it comes to health issues in every area, mentally, physically, even spiritually here. And so these are just some things that have helped me to live a good quality life. We all know that no matter how healthy you are, how great your routines are, how many, you know, amazing habits you have, bad things can still happen. We can still have health issues, but I do believe that there are some ways that, you know, we can just do our best to prevent some issues and that just make us feel good and have a good life and feel our best on a day to day, regular basis. And a lot of those things are natural, simple things. And so, that is what we will be talking about today. If you have not seen the other videos in this series, this video is one of a little mini series I'm doing on here called It's a Spring Thing. I'm taking some themes of spring and applying them to all of our lives. If you also haven't seen the series that I did before this one called Galentine Wine Time, go check that out as well. I did a ton of fun, like girlhood, womanhood themed topics or videos for Valentine's Day. So just a bunch of girl chats where we talk about everything from divine feminine, PMS, intimacy, dating, self-care, sex, all the things, all the fun girlhood, womanhood topics. So go check out those videos if you have not already. But the theme for today's video is being more um, healing yourself through nature, being more tranquil, just adding more natural elements into your life if you have not already. These are not going to be things that you have not heard before, but just reminders that the simple, small things really do make the biggest difference. Again, especially in our culture, a lot of times in our society, we're told to just do so many different things. Even in the health and wellness community, it's like we live on both extremes of like either being super, inundated and bombarded with all the unhealthy stuff that we know is not good for us. And then we can also overdo it on the wellness stuff and it can get overwhelming for people. And so, again, these are just things that have worked for me. I'm a very moderation person. I just believe in letting the good outweigh the bad. You guys already know I'm going to start with food, whole foods. I try to stick to as organic as possible. I'm not perfect at it, but I will say that I eat about 85% organic. We all know organic food does tend to cost more. And so I do try to stick to buying 85% organic when it comes to, everything that I eat, especially with meat. I can be flexible with a lot of things, you know, health wise or food wise, but I really believe in good, high quality meat because I've seen so many things and done so much research on where a lot of our processed meat comes from and where a lot of our, just general meat comes from. So if you are a meat eater, do your best to make sure that the meat you are eating is good quality. I do try to stick to, like I said, organic, clean, very minimal ingredients, especially when it comes to meat. I keep my nutrition pretty simple, high protein, healthy carbs, water, tea, occasionally coffee, but coffee has been giving me headaches. Tea is something that is it just makes me feel in tune with nature. Like it's so crazy, but it feels just so good for the soul. There's something so just earthy and calming about tea. Like I know that research has shown it does have actual, calming effects and just effects on the mind and on the spirit. So I am a huge tea drinker. But coffee I do love. When I drink coffee, I drink it black. Sometimes I'll have um like some added milk to it occasionally, but I love the taste of coffee. I know a lot of times people add stuff to it because they hate the taste of coffee, but they like the energy. I'm the complete opposite. I drink coffee because I like the taste. I don't necessarily ever drink coffee for energy. I love the taste of coffee, but coffee does not always love me back. And so tea it is. I stick to those, very minimal alcohol. I drink maybe twice a month, and when I do drink, I drink tequila. That is my drink of choice. If you watch my Galentine wine time videos, you know that in those videos I was drinking cranberry juice for all of those videos in my wine glass. But I am not a wine drinker. Wine also makes me feel sick. I'll have it occasionally, like maybe once a year if I'm at like Carbone or one of my favorite Italian restaurants. Maybe I'll have wine. But the last time I went to Carbone was in Vegas on my birthday, and I actually ended up drinking whiskey, and it actually was pretty good with my pasta. So I feel like wine is the staple when you're eating Italian food, but you know, whiskey wasn't too bad with the that spicy vodka rigatoni. I never know how to say that word, rigatoni. The pasta, the famous pasta at Carbone, is so good. But again, like I still allow myself to go out. I still eat pasta. I love carbs. I just try to do everything in moderation because I am a bit of a foodie. I'm a very picky eater, but I love food. But just try your best to stick to whole organic foods as much as possible when you can. Again, I know that it is costly depending on the selection available in your area or wherever you live. It can be hard. And so I do understand that because, you know, I grew up in Baltimore City and single mom, you know, whatever we had on the table was what she had on the table. So I grew up eating ramen and hot dogs and baked beans every day. Okay. So I know what struggle is. I know how, you know, hard it can be when it comes to food and money and how much things cost, especially right now. But, you know, I just do my best. I think that, again, just let the good outweigh the bad on a regular basis. When it comes to drinking, like I said, I stick to water and tea. Um, I just like to keep everything simple. Again, I'm a picky eater, but I do believe like minimal ingredients is my thing. Like I'm super big on ingredients. If you can't pronounce it, if you look at a label and it's a paragraph of, you know, ingredients, typically if that is what a package looks like, I will stay away from it. And that's just what has helped to keep everything super simple for me, because again, I know people get very overwhelmed, and I used to be there, get super overwhelmed with all of the wellness rhetoric and things that are good for you, this is bad for you, good stuff that you thought was good for you, you hear some person on the internet say is now bad for you, like oatmeal is now bad for you apparently. Like it changes every day, like so you really have to know your own body, be able to think for yourself, and just, you know, just think for yourself and create your own little nutrition guide. I hate the word diet, but create your own little, you know, go to nutrition meals, foods, go to things for yourself and for your body. But I do believe what you put in your body is what you get out of it. So that really helps me. That it's just like that saying, you are what you eat. I believe what you put in your body is what you're going to get out of it. So I know that I'm someone who I'm doing a lot. I work 7 days a week most weeks. I work multiple jobs. I just started creating content, so I need a lot of energy. And I know I'm not going to get that if I'm eating junk food, fast food, tons of sugar, um, unhealthy carbs, things that are just going to weigh me down on a regular basis. But again, you have to know your body and do what is best for you. Other things going to be super impactful, super natural, super simple to do is make sure you're getting outside as much as possible. I know that the seasons are changing. That is the point of this whole little spring series. But and I know that like most people had to spend winter, myself included, indoors a lot more because it was cold, it's dark. Now we're in the season where it's getting lighter outside, it's staying light outside longer, it's getting warmer longer, depending on where you live. And so take advantage of that, get outside as much as you can. Never, you know, underestimate the power of nature. And I'm obviously Black, and I grew up not being an outdoorsy person at all. And I know a lot of people who look like me who grew up in my community are not the most outdoorsy people. However, I've learned I still refuse to camp. I'm sorry, I'm not a camper. I won't sleep outside. But I will wait, I take that back. I'll sleep outside if I'm like on vacation, like lounge chair, wrapped in a blanket, like Bahamas sleeping outside. Like I've slept outside, but like not camp style sleeping outside. You know what I mean? I've slept outside like under like near a beach kind of beach house type of thing. If you've ever seen the movie It's Complicated, where she falls asleep outside at her pool, like poolside at her house, that I will do. Like I'll sleep outside if I'm like in a secluded, like if it's a vibe, then that's fine. But said all that to say, I've never been an outdoorsy person. I did used to swim in high school. I swam only two sports I was ever good at, is swimming and tennis. And so never underestimate the power of staying outside, of being outside, of spending as much time outside as you can. The sunlight and even just fresh air make a huge difference. If you're having a hard day at work, if your office has a window, open it. Like just that one simple, task, doing that one thing can change the energy or change your energy so much. And I know because I've been doing it. Just I have a home office, and when I get super tired or when I'm just feeling like blah, and I know I have stuff that I need to get done, literally, just opening a window can make a huge difference. If I know I can't go outside right now, if I know I can't go for a walk or just don't feel like it, opening a window makes a huge difference. So keep windows open in your home. Make sure that you're constantly getting fresh air as much as you can. Use having the windows rolled down in your car if you're driving, more so than using AC. Like just little things like that that you don't think are making a difference really, 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 really make a difference. Nature, I believe, just carries so much energy. We all know that, sunlight, fresh air, we need those things. Water is a huge, huge, huge one. Drinking water, being in water, for me, looking at water, I love um, looking at bodies of water. I love being near bodies of water, whether it's at a beach or at a harbor, or and I love being in a pool. Like I said, I swim, and so I've always been a swimmer. I've never had a swim lesson, and I was one of the top on my swim team in high school. So that's something that has always come extremely natural to me. I'm a water baby, but I was born in October, but I'm a water baby. Like love I love a pool. I always say I'm not one of those girls that's gonna be at the pool they're like sitting there in a bikini looking cute with a drink. Like I'm gonna be doing laps in the pool. I'm gonna still be looking cute and I might still have a margarita, but I'm gonna be in the pool doing laps. Like a I'm such a fish. But being on water is so healing. Being underwater literally tunes out everything. It tunes out the world. It's just cleansing. It's very refreshing. So do things that give you that just sense of peace and sense of calm. Getting off your phone is another huge one. I know that it can be so hard. I know that phones are so addicting, but it really will make a difference in your life when you can disconnect, when you are not staring at a screen. I believe that the same restrictions that we have, that many parents have for children when it comes to screen time, I think adults need to have the same restrictions for themselves. We were not meant to, at least I don't think that we were meant to be on phones as much as we are. I understand if you have to use screens for work. I'm recording this on my phone. So, like, if you need to do things obviously for work, that's fine. But I think that really evaluate any extra time that you are spending on your phone mindlessly, spending on your phone. That is, I think the things that you need to really look into and start doing much less of or cut it out completely when you can. It makes such a big difference, you guys. Like the phone is, again, it's just so addicting, and it's going to help you be able to, be like a kid and be able to be bored. And I think we see boredom as a bad thing, but it actually is a great way to get more creative. It's a great way to go outside. It's a great way to have in person connections with people. And, just to social media has done the opposite of making most of us social. I know so many people now. I'm 26 and I work with other like people who are younger than me, and I see the difference that the phone is making in younger people and younger generations, and even people my age and older. They can't have a conversation. Like people have no attention span anymore. Even just sitting and watching a video like this is impossible for so many people because they can't focus. And so, again, the phone is just unbelievably overstimulating, and it's doing so much more damage to our brains than I think most of us realize. Because, again, I know a lot of people who can't focus and have no attention span, and again, can't hold a conversation, and they don't know why. And it's like, I I believe it goes hand in hand, or at least that's part of it. Other times there can be more going on, obviously, but the phone really is a big part of it. So start doing more things that make you forget to check your phone. Start doing more things without your phone. I know the thought of leaving your house without your phone is like, oh my god, like it probably scares the shit out of you, but it is possible to do. Like, remember that these are very new. These devices didn't always exist. People lived without phones before they were a thing. So you will be okay to go an hour without your phone, 2 hours without your phone. Just make it a little challenge for yourself. If you're someone who really, really, really is addicted, if you're someone who really can't go 5 seconds without checking it, put yourself on a little detox. The first step to admitting, what is the AA quote? The first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. Just put yourself on a little challenge. Hide your phone from yourself. Put it in a case. Put it in a different room. Go pick up a book. Go for a walk. Go pick up a magazine. Go sit on, literally, go sit on some grass. Like, go do anything, anything, literally anything. Allow yourself to get creative. Go paint. Go do something. Go clean. Go declutter. Clutter is also a huge one that's going to make you feel more tranquil. It's going to make your environment feel a lot more peaceful. If you are someone who tends to let things pile up, and I know because I do this and I've done this, but I really have tried to embrace a much more simple, a bit more minimal lifestyle. I do not need a ton of things. I switched to Kindle last year. That was one of my like 2024 things, is I got rid of tons of books because I'm a reader, but I don't reread my books, and I was buying a lot of physical books, and they were just taking up way too much space. So I got rid of the books, I gave them away, donated them, and I only I only read on Kindle. I do have um, a few books that I love to just have in my home because they're classics and they're books that I really enjoy looking at, I enjoy seeing and going back to. But for the most part, I only read on Kindle. It saves so much space. So if you know you are someone who tends to let things pile up, things get out of control, you have too much clutter, you're not good at throwing things away, don't let that become a habit. Your environment, and if there's chaos in your environment, it's going to affect your brain even if you don't think it is. That's why making your bed is such a huge small task that you can do every single day to, give yourself the feeling of being productive. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of your day. Again, it's those little things that you do every single day that are going to make the biggest difference, the things that we don't think are always making a difference, but that really do make a difference. Sleep is another one. We all know that you can't do anything if you are exhausted. If you are someone who is running on E, if you don't allow yourself to at least take a break, then you need to make sure that you are allowing yourself a chance to rest and to recover so that you are not running on E, so that you're not burning out. Remember that you are no help to anyone if you are trying to please everyone. You won't be able to do anything if you are trying to do everything. It's just not worth it. Again, your health needs to come first, your mental health, your physical health. If you know you need to say no to things, start saying no to things. Also, having healing meditation sounds on in the background while you're doing things is going to calm you down so much. Especially if you're someone who tends to run anxious, or you tend to run nervous, or things tend to freak you out pretty easily, start. I know a lot of playlists, depending on whether you use Spotify, YouTube, um, whatever streaming device you use, just type in like healing playlist, meditation playlist, and just have those sounds going in your home. It can be part of your morning routine, it can be part of your night routine. I have noticed that this has made a huge difference in my life. I'm already like a pretty zen, chill person anyway. My friends call me a flower girl because I'm like a little hippie. Like, I just want everybody to be happy. I don't really care what you're doing as long as you're not hurting anybody else. Like, I'm just so like easy breezy. Like, I'm just like my like head in the clouds type of person. It's the artist in me, and it's also the Scorpio in me too. Um, but it's really important to create an environment, especially if you are someone who works a job where it is a high stress environment, or you are in a situation right now where your external world is chaotic or disruptive, or you have to deal with people who are messing up your energy and who just really get on your nerves, for lack of better words, make sure that you are creating those moments of peace and tranquility outside of those situations. So when you come home or wherever it is that you can get, a little bit of rest and relaxation and kind of reset your brain and reset your mind and just kind of zone out for a bit, do that. But healing sounds and like meditation music, like think about when you go into a spa and the music that they're playing when you do that kind of vibe. Like you can have that anywhere. You can like be listening to that in your earphones on your way to work or to the gym or to wherever it is that you're going. It's going to really make a difference, instead of playing the exact same music, because I do. If you go to the exact same songs every time you listen to music, that is, an easy hack to, make yourself feel better and make yourself feel more calm and more peaceful. Also, when it comes to the home or anywhere you spend time in, do your best, just like you are paying attention to what you're putting in your body, do your best to make sure that you are eliminating toxins in your environment as well. I love candles so much, but I know that candles burning 24/7 is not always great, which goes back to me making sure that the windows are open all the time so that my space can air out, because I am a lover of candles. But the chemicals in candles, the fragrances in candles, even in the super clean ones, are not, nothing, too much of anything is unhealthy, even things that are okay or things that are good for us. I'm just a believer that too much of anything is unhealthy, good and bad. And so just make sure that you're being mindful of fragrances. If you're someone who wears perfume every day, they have chemicals. Perfumes are made with chemicals, perfumes are made with toxins. So make sure that, I'm someone and I love perfume, okay? But I know that I don't wear it on a regular basis. Again, just doing everything in moderation. I feel like when a lot of people, again, get super overwhelmed when it comes to health and wellness and making life changes because they feel like they have to cut everything out. And if there are things that you genuinely enjoy, sometimes it's not, sometimes you don't need to, unless you really are someone who is full on addicted or you need to get rid of something. I'm a moderation person. I think that it's okay to do something sometimes, depending on what it is. Obviously, don't do bad, like harmful things all the time. But things like wearing perfume, things like lighting my candles, I know personally that I'm going to do. But there are like really like toxic free candles and really healthy. I believe it's uh Michelle Pfeiffer who has like a clean fragrance like perfume line, and I'm sure like a lot of people do. So you can look for things like that, but just be mindful of, chemicals, toxins, and fragrances are one of the main ones. We all know cleaning products. I feel like people are more aware of cleaning products nowadays. A lot of brands like I believe it's Birch Benders, and their Branch Basics have come out with like a lot of clean toxins, and more of the bigger brands are starting to have cleaner ingredients in their cleaning products. So just be more mindful of what you're using in your home. The plugins, like the fragrance plugins, I know are, just be mindful of all of those and anything that you have going in your home 24/7. Again, I personally will still burn my candles. I still use perfume, but it's just not constantly and it's not every single day. I wear perfume maybe once a week. And I know that that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but again, because I know the perfume that I like tends to be made with um, some toxins and some chemicals that are not great, and so it's not something that I use every single day. Maximum 3 times a week. I do not wear perfume like that. And you would just be surprised at how much of um, a difference the smallest things and the smallest changes make. I know that the last one that I'm about to mention can be controversial, but I feel like it's popular now, so people should have a better understanding that fasting is beneficial to the body. Fasting is a biohack. Fasting is not, something that we need to be scared to do or be scared of. Obviously, if you struggle with a disorder, if you are someone who has an unhealthy relationship with food, then don't do it or be mindful if this is something that you want to look into. But for me personally, I love a fast. I love and I also grew up in church, and so fasting was normalized for me from a young age. And so with a lot of religions, fasting is just a part of the lifestyle. And so it's something that, aside from food, I've just been taught that is a good practice to better your increase your faith and to be closer to God or to whatever higher power you believe in. So most spiritual practices talk about fasting anyway. I think that the conversation gets terrifying for people when it comes to applying it to food and to weight and to all that stuff. Me personally, I just love the way my body feels when I take a break. And I've done fast up to 4 days before. Again, don't do any of this without talking to a doctor, without knowing your body, without, doing your research. If you've never read the book Life in the Fasting Lane by Dr. Jason Fung, it is one of my favorite books in the world. Like, if I had to pick 5 books to go with me on an island, that would be one of them. That is one of the best books ever written. Dr. Jason Fung is an incredible, um, an incredible doctor, and he talks a lot about, again, just the benefits of fasting. But he talks about it from someone who works in the medical field. Like, he's worked as a traditional Western medicine doctor, and he just describes the benefits of fasting that a lot of his patients you know um, have seen when they implement that practice into their lifestyle. And I know for me personally, have, I just love the way my body feels when I take a break. And it really, just because it's popular or that I like doing it does not mean that it's easy. Obviously, again, like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm a foodie. I love food, but I do, like I said, I just love giving my body a break. And I do believe that it's something beautiful about restraining yourself or like challenging yourself to do something hard. It's the same thing. It's like in a similar category, not the same thing, but it's in a similar category of like cold plunging, where it's like you are really challenging your body to like push beyond its limits, that kind of thing. Like, that for me is like the benefit of fasting. It builds for me personally, it like builds my endurance, it builds my resistance, it builds my resilience. And it just makes me feel stronger. It makes me feel like I can do hard things. And so it's something that I personally enjoy doing. That is it for this video. If you have any peaceful, calm things that make you feel more in tune with nature, any natural remedies that you love. I also love superfoods. I will leave a list of superfoods that I love. Honey and apples are 2 of them that I know for sure, at least that have worked for me and that I really do believe are actual superfoods. Things that are just healing on your gut. Remember that the gut and the brain are connected. And so what you put in your stomach, act as if you're putting it in your brain. Okay, that'll be a huge game changer as well when you think about it in that way. If you have any natural remedies or anything that you love to do or benefits that you get from any of these, please comment those down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you check out the other videos in this series, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.